We'll talk about a packed to-do list for Congress, who still needs to pass a number of big items before the new year. Lawmakers have just over a month to agree on defense spending, FAA reauthorization, emergency aid packages for our foreign allies, and the list goes on and on. Join us now is Republican Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. You don't get to skate into 2024 like the rest of us do you? You got a full plate for the holiday season.
No, you're correct. We've got a number of items that have to be done yet, including the aid package and, once again, FAA reauthorization. But I think we're making some progress on all fronts.
Yeah, well, we certainly appreciate your time this morning amidst your schedule. There's a lot to unpack here. I'd like to start with our own crisis right here at the southern border, if we could. Republicans, I know, are pushing for the Secure the Border Act in hopes of cracking down on illegal immigration that we've watched for years now. What are Republicans willing to compromise on, sir, in order to get this act passed before the New Year's here?
What we've simply said is that if we're talking about national defense, and this is a national defense package, protecting the southern border is a part of that. A lot of our folks back home, in fact, 77% of the American public, want the southern border addressed. What we've proposed is taking two parts, and we've talked about this now for at least 3 weeks, asylum and parole. And asylum is allowing individuals to come into the country because they feel threatened in their own country. But there's a series of international laws and our own laws that apply to how it should be addressed. This administration is not following the law or the international policies. We shouldn't have people coming to the border. They should be going to the first country in which they feel safe or that they could apply at a U.S. embassy for asylum. Instead, this administration has had over 8 million individuals coming to the southern border and coming into the United States. We have to be following the law. So we want to address the issue of asylum. Second of all, with regard to parole, and what that means is once they get to the border, this administration has been allowing them carte blanche to come into the United States with a court date set literally years away.
And with that being said,
both of those issues.
Do you think it's a fool's errand at this point to keep asking the White House for help and for aid? I mean, realistically, is it just going to take a new administration for us to see anything alleviated along the southern border?
I think the administration clearly understands that they have a problem. And I think there's a number of Democrats, our colleagues, have expressed very privately that they agree that this stuff has got to be addressed. This is not an undoable package. This is a case of where we can make progress in both areas. We want to be able to measure our results to make sure that people coming to the southern border recognize you're not going to get in, and that will slow the march north from countries south of Mexico. In addition to that, right now, we all want to get the rest of the aid package done with regard to our national defense needs, including rebuilding our own ammo stocks, assistance for Israel, and assistance for Ukraine. There's also additional funding in there to work on some of the projects in the Pacific Rim region as well. It's part of a package. It is very, very doable.
And with that package, you know, President Biden has proposed a $105 billion aid package for Ukraine, for Israel, and the southern border is being leveraged in that. Would you support the aid package without the addition of the Border Act intact there?
There will not be a movement to the rest of the package until the southern border is addressed. I think our Republican conference has made that very clear now for at least 3 weeks. Once we have an agreement on how to address the issues at the southern border, specifically asylum and parole, then we'll be able to move very quickly into the rest of the package. And look, we all want to get to a bottom line of providing that aid and rebuilding our own military. There's no question about our support for it, but we're going to take and address the issues at the southern border as a part of this national defense package.
In turning overseas now, sir, I'd be remiss to let you go without asking you about Israel as the war wages on there. What aid should America be offering that country amid the ongoing conflict with Hamas? What do you find to be appropriate?
When America was attacked on 9/11, Israel and other countries didn't come in and say, we're going to provide you with assistance on a limited basis, or we're going to condition our assistance. We need to respond accordingly with regard to our ally, Israel. They have to take out Hamas. If they need additional military supplies, we should be supplying it. We expect them to follow the rules that have been put in internationally in terms of how you conduct a war. Hamas will never agree to that. They're a terrorist organization, but our ally Israel will do that. We do not want to put conditions on them. We want them to be able to be successful in taking out this scourge, which is basically creating a huge amount of suffering, not just in Gaza, but in the entire Middle East right now.
Yeah. I know a lot of people echo your sentiments. It's time to return the favor, especially for our largest ally in the Middle East. Senator Mike Rounds, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.